Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm going to be breaking on this upcoming UFC 320 pay-per-view card. We got Magomedov Ankalaev taking on ALEXPEREIRA in an instant rematch. I think it's warranted. Pereira was one of the most active champions, defended his belt within the span of a year. So if anyone deserves an instant rematch, it's definitely Poatan. And I'm happy we're going to get to see this fight run back. In the co-main event, we got Merab, the best bantamweight ever in UFC history. I think if he's not the best bantamweight in UFC history, I don't know who is. I know people are saying Sterling or I guess Tiza Dillashaw, but Tiza Dillashaw popped for PDs, so I can't really put him on my list. But or Dominic Cruz. I guess you can kind of give Dominic Cruz that some credit as the bantamweight GOAT, but for me, it's definitely Merab with the resume that he has right now. Insane resume, beating people like O'Malley, beating people like Peter Yan, Umar Nurmagomedov. I mean, his resume, beating Henry Cejudo. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that at bantamweight. He's taking on the Corey Sandhagen, the Sandman. Because there really aren't that many contenders in the top 5 for Merab right now. This should be a fun co-main event. I think it's going to be a high-level fight. It's going to be a really technical fight. And should be fun for as long as it goes. And the featured fight on the main card, we got Jerry Procházka taking on Khalil Rountree. Now, this is going to be a banger, man, like every other Procházka fights. His fights are never boring. That's why we love Procházka, because he goes to war every single time he's out there competing. And he's going to bring a lot of excitement to this card. Khalil Rountree, still top contender at light heavyweight. Coming off that really good win over Jamal Hill, where he completely shut him down for all 5 rounds. Wasn't that exciting, let's be honest. It was kind of like a boring fight. I mean, let me not say boring, okay? So it was like him just kind of like pitter-patting around from the outside, just kind of chipping away on Hill from the outside, and Hill couldn't really get his game going. So that one I know people are kind of pissed off about that one, because he had a really good fight with Poatan, the fight before where they went to war. But I think he took the smart way out against Hill. So we'll see if he tries to go out there and implement the same game plan like he did over Jamal Hill with Procházka. That should be interesting to see. But this is definitely one of my favorite fights on the card. Then we got Josh Emmett taking on Youssef Zalal. Now, there is a lot on the line for this matchup. If Zalal is able to go out there, defeat Josh Emmett, who's only lost to like some top contenders, right? Josh Emmett, recently, I mean, he's only lost to Ilia Topuria. He only lost to Yair Rodriguez. He only lost to Lerone Murphy in a main event recently. So this is definitely a huge step up for Youssef Zalal. And he's been looking pretty good. By the way, if you guys didn't know, these 2 guys are the only 2 guys that have taken Ilia Topuria the distance in the UFC. Ilia Topuria has gone on to finish every single opponent. He just finished all the way up a weight class. So yeah, that's interesting to think about, that these 2 guys are so tough, so durable. Obviously, Youssef Zalal took on Topuria in Topuria's debut, and Josh Emmett had a 5-round main event against Ilia Topuria, where he was kind of getting battered by Ilia, but Ilia is the fucking GOAT. So yeah, but it's just kind of interesting to think about that, how tough both these guys really are. We also got Abus Magomedov taking on Joe Pyfer. Now, Joe Pyfer did have a chance to fight for the top 15 ranking before, and he fumbled, right? He fumbled against Jack Hermanson, the Joker, and now he's getting another opportunity to fight for the top 15 ranking, and he's getting Abus Magomedov, who's actually a pretty solid fighter, right? Abus Magomedov came into the UFC, knocked out Dustin Stoltzfus within like 20 seconds. I believe it was 19 seconds with the front kick to the face. Nasty knockout. And they just the UFC's like, okay, we got something with this guy here. We're gonna give him Strickland in a 5-round Apex main event, and really didn't go well for Abus. I mean, to be fair, he did have a really good first round over Strickland, but it was too much too soon. Fighting someone like Strickland, who's super durable and insane cardio, and Abus kind of wilted because he's like, oh shit, I got 5 more rounds, I got 4 more rounds to go. I can't get this guy out of there in the first round. But yeah, they haven't really given Abus like any easy matchups, right? Then they give him after that fight, after Strickland fight, they give this guy Caio Berralho in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and that was a pretty close fight. But he's only lost to Strickland and Berralho in the UFC, so the guy is pretty high level. And Pyfer, even though Pyfer has a lot of power, like we're gonna see how good Pyfer really is, because he hasn't really fought anyone who's like really that good. I mean, I guess Kelvin Gastelum, and he was looking good in that Hermanson fight early in the first round, but he is kind of a gas bag. I mean, both these guys have had cardio issues in the past, so we'll see who's able to go out there, implement their game better, and this should be a fun fight. Definitely a fun fight on the card. We got Atiba Gautier taking on Ozzy Diaz. Now we got Ngannou 2.0. I love Atiba Gautier, man. The guy's an absolute marauder, has insane knockout power, and when you see Atiba Gautier on the card, you know it's gonna be a crazy fight for as long as it goes. So that should be interesting. They're giving him Ozzy Diaz, who recently just got his first UFC win, I believe, over the Jordan Santos, that Brazilian, and the UFC ain't doing him any favors in the spot here. And yeah, this should be a fun fight for as long as it goes. Probably not going to go more than like half a round, let's be honest. But within the next matchup on the card is Emmett Shahbazyan taking on Andre Muniz. Now, Muniz, I'm kind of like a Muniz hater. Like, I'll tell you guys why I'm a Muniz hater. Because when he fought my boy Iron Turtle, like, I remember I was like, Iron Turtle, he's going to destroy this guy. He's going to win this fight 100%. I was telling everyone to go put their life savings on the Iron Turtle. And it really just didn't go according to plan for me and for all of us that bet on Iron Turtle. No, it was a really close fight. And when he just kind of like went out there, red blanketed Turtle, just took him down over and over, controlled him. Didn't do any fucking damage in that fight. I mean, that was really like, that really made me mad. And now since then, I'm a big Muniz hater, but he's a good fighter, has a good grappling base, really good jiu-jitsu. He's kind of known for like going out there submitting Jacare Souza, who's another really good jiu-jitsu guy. That's pretty much his claim to fame. And at one point, I mean, I remember Dan Hardy. I think Dan Hardy was a guy that's like, oh, he's gonna go out there, he's gonna be a UFC champion, and just things have really been going well. I mean, Dan Hardy's takes haven't really been aging well, but this should be a fun fight. Shahbazyan, still only 27 years old, came into UFC, I believe, at like 21, 22 years old. So he's kind of like, he's been learning on the job. And this should be a good fight at middleweight. The next fight on the card, we got Farid Basharat. Now, I know people are like low on the Basharat brothers because they haven't, like his brother, I mean, not really Farid, Javid Basharat. The people have been kind of low on Javid Basharat because Javid Basharat just got knocked out by Ricky Simon before he lost to Ayman Jahabi. I mean, those guys are pretty good. Ricky Simon, Ayman Jahabi. But even before, like, Javid was taking those L's, I was telling everyone, I was like, I definitely think Farid is the better Basharat brother. Like, he's better at, like, going out there, putting it all together with his wrestling, with his kickboxing, and, like, really solid base, really good cardio, really good fight IQ. So this should be a good matchup. I think it's definitely a favorable matchup for Farid Basharat. Gutierrez, another kickboxer, really known for those low kicks, those nasty calf kicks. So this should be a fun matchup. We also got my boy Wikłacz Santos taking on Ju Sang Yu. If you guys didn't know, Santos used to be a former bantamweight, and he had so many cancellations down at 135. I believe he had 5 canceled fights in the UFC at 135. And the UFC's like, okay, we can't do this anymore with you, bro. You got to move up to 145 or you're going to get cut. I don't think they said you're going to get cut, but I think they kind of forced him to move up to 145. And he had his debut against the other Korean guy, the Korean Tiger, Jio Sung Lee. No, not what was his name? Let me see if I can pull up his name. The Korean Tiger. I mean, I know his nickname, like Jung Young Lee. Jung Young Lee. I mean, all these names sound the same, bro. Yu Sang Yu, Jung Young Lee. It's all the same. It's all the same shit. But yeah, Santos was supposed to take on Do Ho Choi on this card, but Do Ho Choi, one of my favorite fighters from Korea, suffered a knee injury, so he can't make it. Now another Korean is stepping up and taking on Daniel Santos. You saying you coming off that crazy KO over Jekka Sergey. I mean, it was one of the biggest layups I've seen UFC give anyone in their debut, right? And he went out there, like, treated that matchup like a layup, knocked him out in the first round. Like, Jekka just kind of ran into that counter shot and got knocked out cold, got face planted. It was pretty funny. If you guys haven't seen it, just go check that out. But yeah, this should be a good matchup, man. Santos is a tough shoot hit box fighter, and this should definitely be a fun fight for as long as it goes. The next fight on the card, we have a Macy Chiasson taking on Yana Santos. Now, this should be a good WMA fight. It could be kind of boring. It could be kind of it could be like, depending on how it goes. Like, Macy's a good wrestler. Like, Yana Santos is a decent kickboxer. Yeah, this should, whoever is able to go out there, implement their game plan is probably going to win. I mean, like all MMA fights. But yeah, Macy's, like, she took an L to Ketlen Vieira, got completely dominated in the wrestling. Wasn't a good look. But now she's going to be taking on someone that she can maybe implement her game plan on. But yeah, definitely not an easy matchup, because Yana Santos is kind of like a veteran at this point, has decent kickboxing, so she could probably give her some problems on the feet. But let's talk about this next matchup, the matchup that I'm really looking forward to. Patchy Mix taking on Jacob Wikłacz. Yeah, those I can't pronounce these Polish names, bro. I mean, I try my best every time trying to pronounce these Polish names, but it's really difficult. But obviously Patchy Mix, like the UFC's been kind of doing these guys from PFL, Bellator, dirty. They always give them like someone in top 10, top 15. They sometimes it goes well for them. Most times it doesn't. I remember when they gave Michael Chandler, Dan Hooker, and Chandler went out there, knocked him out in the first round, or I believe it was the second round or first round. And then he fought Charles Oliveira for the belt after Habib retired from MMA. But yeah, so that went well for the matchmakers. They got a contender in the top 5, Michael Chandler, and then after they did it with, I believe they did it with a few other guys, right? They gave MVP top 15 Kevin Holland, but MVP just didn't stay at 170. Now he's fighting up at 185. He lost. I think MVP lost to Ian Gary in the second fight, or he probably would have fought for the belt. Honestly, he was like right there. He would have been like in the top 5 or top 10. Ian Gary's like in the top 5 now, I believe, or like close to the top 5. But yeah, and then they did it with the Pitbull, like Persicio Pitbull. Things didn't go well for him. They gave him Yair Rodriguez in his debut. Yair was ranked in the top 5, I believe, and he took an L, and then he bounced back against Dan Ige in his second UFC fight. And then obviously they did it with Patchy Mix against Mario Batista. Things didn't really go well for him. He kind of had, it kind of looked like he had UFC jitters. Maybe that was the case, but who knows, man? Like, I was really disappointed with Patchy Mix, because was I one of those people that was hyping up Patchy Mix? I mean, I guess I was kind of like one of those people that was like giving him far too much credit than he probably deserved, because he didn't really have an easy matchup right against Mario Batista. Batista's on a huge win streak right now, looking better and better each fight, and he's probably in the mix for fighting for a title if he goes out there, defeats Umar Nurmagomedov. That's his next matchup. The winner of that fight could fight Merab Dvalishvili or Corey Sandhagen, and the next bantamweight champion. I mean, it's probably gonna be Merab, but let's be honest. But yeah, that's probably those are probably the next 2 contenders. And Patchy Mix, he's gonna have to like stack up a couple of wins, because the UFC gave him an easy way to go get to the title shot, but he kind of fumbled that one. Looked really bad look. But now he's taking on I believe a bantamweight champion from KSW, Jacob. So definitely a little bit of a better matchup for Patchy Mix. They're both pretty good grapplers, but there's levels to grappling. And this should be right up Patchy Mix's alley. But yeah, I'm definitely interesting to see how that matchup's gonna go for Patchy Mix. Because if he takes another L here, like that's gonna be really bad. Like his career might be over before he even begins in the UFC. And then obviously, like recently, the UFC like they gave Aaron Pico Lauren Murphy, and people are like, the people I've seen people saying how Aaron Pico was a lock of the century, and he got knocked out cold by Lauren Murphy, bro. Like Murphy doesn't knock anyone out. I mean, the only people I've seen Murphy knock out was, I mean, Murphy is a good fighter. I'm one of those people who's been high on Murphy, Lauren Murphy. But like, come on, bro. Like getting knocked out by like Aaron Pico finds ways to get knocked out by people that shouldn't be knocking him out. They're like point strikers. He got knocked out in Bellator back in the day, or PFO, by Adam Borix. And then now he got knocked out by, I remember he also got knocked out by Henry Corrales in Bellator. Like maybe that was like one of his early fights. And now he got knocked out by Lauren Murphy with this crazy spinning back fist because he just kind of rushed in. So I think the UFC should probably like do some like, I mean, Patchy Mix was a former champion over there, I mean, in Bellator. So I guess giving him that top 5 spot fight against Yair wasn't really much of a mistake. But yeah, I hope he looks better here because his wife, man, his wife or his girlfriend, Tatiana Suarez. Like she looked just as bad in her title shot against Zhang Weili, and now she looked even worse in that Lemos fight. Really boring fight. So Patchy Mix goes out there, has a really boring fight. I think people are gonna shit on him so much. So I'm really hoping Patchy Mix puts up a good fight here, and we get a good back and forth scrap, or he goes out there, finishes this guy in the first round, gets some hype back on his name. But yeah, let's talk about this next matchup. We got Punahele Soriano taking on Ankalaev Veretennikov. Punahele Soriano's been looking pretty good since dropping down to 170. He was kind of like trading wins and losses up at 185. Now he's coming off that destruction win over Urus Medik, where he knocked him out with a straight right hand down the pipe in the first 20 seconds. So, and before that, he absolutely dominated Miguel Baeza, who kind of is like pretty washed at this point, but still, like he just dominated completely, out-wrestled him, beat him up everywhere the fight was going. And he's been looking good. I think this might be the right weight class for, I mean, it looks like it's the right weight class for Punahele Soriano. And Ankalaev Veretennikov, I believe he's 1-2 in the UFC. He came in on Contender Series a while back. He lost to Michael Morales. Michael Morales is going to fight for the belt soon, so that's not really the worst loss. But yeah, I mean, he took on I believe he took on Danny Barlow on short notice. That was a close fight. It could have gone either way. I did think Barlow did enough to win that fight by split decision. And then obviously they gave him I think they gave him Vanderford. Yeah, they gave him Austin Vanderford, who's also fighting on this card. He's fighting earlier on this card, and he got completely destroyed. Got taken on and got completely destroyed. Got finished in the first round. I think it was by ground and pound or submission. And then they gave him the guy who should never be fighting at 170, Francisco Prado, another Argentinian fighter. And I like myself some Prado, man, but like 170 really isn't the right weight class for Prado. Yeah, that should be a fun fight. The winner of those fights is probably going to move up the rankings a bit. Probably not by that much, but let's see how far Punahele can push it at 170. Next fight on the card, we got Brahimaj taking on Austin Vanderford. This should be a really fun fight, man. Vanderford, obviously, like one of the better wrestlers and grapplers who's been signed to the UFC recently. And this should be a matchup between a wrestler and a BJJ guy. Ramiz Brahimaj has decent striking, has knockout power, has really good jiu-jitsu. I mean, this guy's finished everyone, I believe, in the first round. So, like, Ramiz Brahimaj is, like, a really dangerous finisher in the first round. So you got to mind your P's and Q's. You got to be careful when you're in the first round. You can't make any mistakes against this guy, Ramiz Brahimaj, because he'll wrap up your neck and strangle you in the first round, or he'll like probably catch you with a shot over the top. That should be a fun fight. I'll tell you who I'm picking later on. But yeah, let's talk about this first fight on the card. We got Veronica Hardy taking Brogan Walker. Before we get into the breakdown, guys, make sure you guys like and subscribe if you guys do appreciate these early breakdowns. I believe we're only 30 subs away from hitting our goal, 3,500 subscribers. We're almost there, so I appreciate if you guys all subscribe. Tell your aunties, your uncles, your cousins, your nephews, your brothers, your sisters, your moms, your dads to go subscribe to my channel. And let's get into the breakdown, guys. First fight on the card, we got Veronica Hardy taking on Brogan Walker. Now they're bringing back Brogan Walker back from the dead, pretty much to give Hardy a layup here. And I'm not gonna spend too much time on this fight because I don't need to. Hardy's gonna go out there win this fight. He's favored by a lot. I believe Hardy's coming in at minus 550. Should Hardy be minus 550? I'd probably put her at like minus like 300, maybe like minus 300. I think she should be the rightful favorite, like the clear favorite here. Brogan Walker hasn't competed in over like almost 3 years, or like over 2.5 years. And yeah, Brogan Walker is probably the worst fighter on the roster. I didn't even think she was still in the UFC, but I guess they just kept her around just so they could give someone they want to see win a layup. And Hardy is going to be the far better striker, much faster. Hardy only struggles against girls that have like decent skills and are really physical, like Eduarda Mora, like Jamie Lynn Hurt. And she won that fight against Jamie Lynn Hurt, but she was getting taken on. Hardy's takedown defense really isn't great. Like her takedown defense is only 55%, but Brogan Walker's wrestling is not good, and her striking isn't good. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Hardy. Easy pick here. Hardy by decision. I think Brogan Walker is pretty tough. Hardy could probably wrap up a submission if Brogan Walker is really washed. But I think Hardy's just gonna do enough in the striking, just kind of pepper her with low kicks, body kicks, and just kind of tick for tack battle in the striking. And Hardy's gonna win in on scorecards, I believe. Do you want to bet minus 550 Hardy? I just can't do it, but she's gonna win. Probably bet over. Probably goes over. Brogan Walker is pretty tough. Next fight on the card, we got Brahimaj taking on Oscar Vanderford. Like I was mentioning earlier, man, like Brahimaj is definitely like a problem in the first round. But if you can like extend the fight, you don't make a lot of mistakes in the first round. You take him down. You force him to wrestle. You can definitely like beat him like that. Just following the same game plan that Grimbo was able to go out there and do and follow. Wrestle, take him down. Don't give him your neck, and don't make a lot of mistakes like Billy Ray Goff was making mistakes, like trying to go for like single leg takedowns, putting his neck out there. You can't do that. You gotta like go for double leg takedowns and like maybe go for a body lock takedown so your neck isn't like open for him to wrap up a front choke on you. Yeah, Brahimaj, he wasn't looking good. I mean, to be fair, like, I'll give him some credit because he took on Grimbo after like a 2-year layoff, and things didn't really go well for him there. Like, so he just didn't. I guess he wasn't prepared for that Grimbo fight. Grimbo just took him down over and over, just beat him up like that. I mean, didn't really beat him up. It was a really boring fight. Let's be honest. I did bet on Grimbo at like minus 135 because I was like, oh, Grimbo's gonna win this fight. It's just pretty tough. I mean, but Grimbo is kind of shit. Let's be honest, Grimbo sucks, bro. Yeah, he's been looking better. He knocked out Mickey Gale. I mean, Mickey Gale is just like, I actually thought Mickey Gale was gonna win that fight. I mean, oh my god, that was one of my worst picks ever. Like picking Mickey Gale and betting on Mickey Gale, that was so bad. And then he destroyed Billy Ray Goff because Billy Ray Goff, instead of like keeping range and like boxing up Brahimaj, that's what I was expecting Billy Ray Goff to go out there and do. He was trying to wrestle with Brahimaj, which was a mistake, and he found out why it was a mistake. But yeah, I think Vanderford should win. He should be a rightful favorite. He has been knocked out before by people like Aaron Jeffrey. He's a good fighter, like really good cardio, really good clinch game, and is kind of a grappler. A lot bigger than Brahimaj. And really durable. Overall, I think Aaron Jeffrey has a better game than Brahimaj, like better cardio. Like when fights go longer, he can wrestle nonstop for 50 minutes. I just don't think that's the stylistic match that Vanderford is going to fight here. think this should be Vanderford, probably by decision, or maybe like a late finish ground and pound. So I'm going to go Vanderford to win. I think he should win this fight. Let's see what the odds are. Odds for Vanderford minus 260. It is kind of wide. I mean, the line is definitely kind of wide. I would line him at like minus, I think minus 180. Like if the line drops like minus 180, that's probably the side betting wise too. But Brahimaj round 1 is always super live. So if you want to play a long shot on this fight, Brahimaj round 1 finish. Could be KO, could be submission. But probably KO. Brahimaj round 1 KO. I think that's his win condition here. Next fight on the card, we got Soriano taking on Ankalaev Veretennikov. This should be a really fun fight, man. Like I said earlier, Soriano, since dropping down to welterweight, he's been looking tremendous. Finishing all of his, I mean, he should have finished Miguel Baez. I mean, I don't know why the referee just didn't want to stop that fight. Like, go back and watch that big Miguel Baez, but he beat his ass for like every second of that fight. Really put it on him, and his cardio looked tremendous. But Soriano, he's mostly known for that power, the big hooks that he throws over the top, and he has insane power. He's only 5'11", so I don't even know why he was fighting up at 185, because he was struggling against some of those guys up at 185. Like he struggled against Nick Maximov, I think he trains at with the Diaz brothers, the Nick Diaz and Nate Diaz guys. And that gym over there. So Nick Maximov just kind of took him down over and over. But I think that fight could have gone either way. I watched that fight, and that fight, honestly, like you could like, there's a reason. Like, I mean, there's a case that you can make for Ankalaev winning that fight, because he was hurting Nick Maximov in that fight, and he was doing pretty well. He got destroyed by Kopylov. I mean, that happened. I mean, Kopylov is sharp strike kickboxer. I know he lost to Costa recently, but that was a huge jump up for Kopylov, and things just didn't go well for him. But Kopylov is a nasty kickboxer. He lost to Brandon Allen. All those guys are pretty good. I mean, all those guys are pretty good, and he lost to the GOAT, Dustin Stoltzfus, in his last fight up at 185. Not really the best look, but Stoltzfus is a lot better than we give him credit for, and even then I've given him credit for. Like, Stoltzfus is a pretty solid fighter. He had a pretty good fight with Kelvin Gastelum, went the distance, and looked kind of good in that fight. Won one round against Kelvin Gastelum, and it was a good scrap. And like Stoltzfus just kind of like was peppering him with a lot of kicks at range, and then he took him down, beat him up on the ground. This fight is definitely interesting, man, because like Veretennikov is plus 200, like plus 200 underdog. Like, Ankalaev could take him down. I think he's probably gonna wrestle, because Veretennikov has been taken on in a lot of his fights. I believe he's taken on by Michael Morales, but Michael Morales is pretty high level, but still, he has been taken on, completely destroyed by Vanderford. But Vanderford, I think, has a better wrestling pedigree than Soriano, like a better overall jiu-jitsu game than Soriano. And he was taken, I think he was getting like controlled by Prado too, getting taken on by Prado, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, who I'm gonna pick, man? Because like the odds are so wide. Plus 185 for Ankalaev Veretennikov. I might pick Veretennikov. Like, Ankalaev, like, could he knock him out? Ankalaev is pretty tough. Yeah, this could be like the one thing I keep going back to for this matchup is that the fact that like he had a tough time with Prado, and Prado is a former lightweight, and Ankalaev is a former middleweight. So even though Ankalaev like could probably fight at 185 because he's a big dude for the weight class, and I hope he stays at range and like kicks to the body a lot, because it's gonna give Ankalaev a lot of problems. He wants to throw those big hooks up close in the pocket. That's where he's gonna be able to maybe hurt Veretennikov. But the more I think about it, like if Veretennikov can like not get fucking destroyed on the ground, he might have a chance here. So I'm gonna pick Veretennikov to win this fight. We'll see how it goes. I think Veretennikov can maybe get it done, maybe like a close 29-28 decision. But he might just get destroyed completely, get knocked out in the first round, like, because Ankalaev has insane power. The guy throws everything just to kill you in every shot, and he can wrestle. So I get why Pinelli is favored, but he was underdog in his last fight against Medic. A big underdog against Medic, big underdog against Baeza. So was he, I don't know if he was underdog against Baeza. I think he was a pretty big underdog against Baeza. So the books, this might be overcorrection because now they're bringing him at like minus 250. I mean, this is kind of like crazy. Being underdog in your first 2 fights at 170, now you're like a big favorite over a guy who's like not the best fighter. I mean, let's be honest, but not really a complete bum. Yeah, they open him up at like minus 300. That is pretty wide. The only way he's gonna look minus 300 if he gets those takedowns and he destroys Veretennikov like Vanderford did. But that might not be the case. That might not be how this fight goes. But yeah, let's move on. I'm gonna go with the Veretennikov as a dog. Next fight on the card, we got Patchy Mix. Obviously coming back in his second fight in the UFC. Definitely a better matchup here for Patchy Mix than his debut against Mario Batista. And I think he's going to do well here, man. I know people are going to be low on Patchy Mix because he lost to Batista, looked like a bum, looked like a jobber out there, just stood there staring into the headlights, taking pictures, not really even letting his hands go, not shooting takedowns. I mean, that was like the worst. I was like, well, what are you doing, bro? Like, did you bet on, like, I was like, Patchy Mix, did you really put your life savings on Batista to win so you could like go cash out your bet? Like, why are you not shooting takedowns? But yeah, I mean, it could be UFC jitters. I hope it's UFC jitters because I do like Patchy Mix. I do believe in the guy, so I hope he goes out there, proves the people that are like completely like giving up on him because he lost to Batista. I think he's gonna go out there look better in this fight. Jacob has a good grappling base. Striking isn't clean. He's definitely not as technical as Batista. But and he's making his UFC debut, so this should be up right up Patchy Mix's alley. Someone that doesn't have a lot of UFC experience, who's gonna probably have some UFC jitters himself. But Jacob, he's a good KSW fighter. I mean, he's fought some okay guys in KSW, but like he's going like to war with some of those guys in KSW, and sometimes he's losing some of those fights early and then pulling off a submission late. Like he's definitely like a tough fighter. Yeah, but I think Patchy Mix is gonna look good here. I'm taking Patchy Mix. I think he should be the rightful favorite. Minus 265 for Patchy Mix. I think honestly, I think minus 250 is probably right. I think Patchy Mix minus 250 is probably right. He's gonna be the more technical striker, and he's got the better jiu-jitsu. So if this fight hits the mat, I think he's more live to find a submission than Jacob. And Patchy Mix is really durable, never been finished in fight ever. He's never been finished, and he's only lost to Mario Batista. He lost to I believe he lost. I mean, the second fight against Magomedov could have gone either way. I know a lot of us thought that Magomedov should have won that fight. I mean, it was really close, but they gave it to Patchy Mix, and I had parlayed with Patchy Mix, so I was happy about that. But he lost to Archuleta. I mean, it happens. I mean, sometimes you have an off night. But I think that I'm hoping that Patchy Mix, his debut was an off night for him, and I think he's gonna look good out there. Patchy Mix by submission. I think he could probably wrap something up here. Next fight on the card, we got Macy Chiasson taking on Yana Santos. Now, Macy Chiasson, man, I'm a believer of Macy Chiasson. I really am, and I was like, I actually bet her in her last fight over Ketlen Vieira, but Ketlen Vieira is definitely like a tough veteran and probably one of the better prospects at 135 in the UFC. But like there really aren't a lot of good fighters at 135 bantamweight. Right now we have Killa Harrison as a champion at bantamweight, and I don't know. And I heard like they were gonna do Killa Harrison versus Amanda Nunes at 135. Amanda Nunes was supposed to come back. I don't think I've heard any confirmation about that. So that might not be happening anymore, or it might be happening. I'm not sure, because right now, like the only like big fight that we made right now is Zhang Weili versus Valentina Shevchenko for that 125 belt. It's a super fight on that. I believe it's on the same card, MSG, as Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena for that welterweight belt. That should be exciting. So hopefully we get that Amanda Nunes versus Killa Harrison, because that could be a super fight. But let's talk about this fight, man. Chiasson, high-level wrestler, really physical. He's going to be a lot bigger than Yana Santos here. And that could play a factor for sure. Like, that definitely could play a factor. Like, because, like, Ketlen Vieira is pretty big for the weight class. So, like, see, just got completely destroyed. Got completely out-wrestled, dominated on the mat. But this could be a good matchup for her because she's going to have the physicality. She's going to have the size. She's going to have the better jiu-jitsu if this fight hits the mat. Now, she's definitely not the better striker. Like, Yana Santos is far better striker than Chiasson. Far better, like, better kickboxer. Doesn't have a lot of KO power. Like, she's definitely just kind of a point fighter when it comes to the stand-up. But Macy probably has more power, has the better wrestling, and she could finish this fight if it hits the mat. So I'm like, after tape study, I was leaning towards Yana Santos to win, maybe defending takedowns, but like, her takedown defense really isn't good enough, in my opinion, to win. Like, she's gonna have to win the striking more than she's controlled on the mat, or like, she's gonna have to, even if when she gets taken down, she's gonna have to like make sure she doesn't like get fucking finished on the ground, because she's been finished on the mat a few times. Like, Pennington finished her on the mat. Other fighters, I believe Irene Aldana just knocked her out in the first round, because Irene Aldana has really good striking, and Macy was destroying Irene Aldana in that fight. I remember before she got like liver kicked off. Irene Aldana just kicked her liver off her back, and I had money on Aldana, so I was like, holy shit, I just got lucky. I was like, oh, you just got lucky. See, the fact that he just knocked her out with the liver kick off her back, because Irene Aldana was getting completely out wrestled by Macy Chiasson. And it's not easy, like, how grappling Aldana like that. I feel like Macy should be able to get those takedowns. Like, I want to lean towards Yana Santos. Like, it's probably dogger pass. I think Yana Santos by decision. She's 6-2 when the fights go to the scorecard. So there's definitely a chance if Yana Santos, this fight hits the scorecard, that Macy probably isn't getting those takedowns as much. She's probably not finishing Yana Santos in the first couple of rounds, and this could be like a 29-28 split decision type of fight where Yana Santos has had the better moments in the striking, and Macy's able to get a couple of takedowns, rack up a couple of minutes of control. So it might go like that. But the more I think about it, I think Macy should be the pick, but definitely not the bet. Maybe Macy by finish. That might be like a good look here. Macy -214. The line is definitely kind of wide. I mean, I would bet Macy at like -150 here, just because of grappling advantage for her and the physicality, and she's going to be a lot more alive to finish this fight by submission or ground and pound. But I think Yana could probably bank the early rounds if Macy isn't getting those takedowns. So you got to pick and choose which fighter you want to back. But Yana Santos by decision could be like a good long shot play here, because like I said earlier, like, she's going to have the better striking moments if this fight hits a scorecard. Next fight on the card, we got Daniel Santos taking on Ju Sang Yu. And like I told you guys earlier, Daniel Santos, former bantamweight, had so many more, I believe he had more cancellations than fights in the UFC. He had like 3 cancellations in a row where he pulled out every fight in a row. Really bad look. And UFC, they don't like that from you. You putting out not you, I mean, but like from Santos pulling out of fights, like that many fights, they're gonna be like, obviously they're probably gonna cut you. I mean, if you keep missing weight over and over like Santos was doing, they're not gonna be on your side. But yeah, this fight is definitely interesting for sure, because Santos, he looked good in that 145 in his debut against Young Lee, the Korean Tiger, another South Korean fighter. Yeah, so like Santos is definitely like, he's a typical Sute box style fighter, like Charles Oliveira. Decent Muay Thai, nice slow kicks, nice knees in the clinch, decent body kicks. Striking defense really isn't good. The striking defense really worries me for Santos, because I remember that if you guys go back and watch that fight against I believe it was Castaneda, Sexy Mexi John Castaneda, bro was getting like dropped over and over and over because he just couldn't see that left high kick coming at all. And Castaneda kept landing that same left high kick over and over and over, because his hands are so low sometimes. He just doesn't have his hands up to block that left high kick. And you has those weapons too, man. He's taking this fight on short notice, so this could, and he hasn't really faced anyone who's like all that great. Let's be honest, because they gave him Jika Sergey, so I'm not really sure like what he looks like later. He has gone the distance before. He can wrestle. He can do everything pretty well. Like both these guys are pretty well rounded, and he's probably going to be a little bit bigger than Santos. He's going to be. I think he is a little bit like taller. I know he's only 5'7", but he seems like he's a true featherweight. Whereas Santos used to fight at 135, but was having trouble making 135. But I've decided I'm going to go with the Santos. He's shown that he's super, super durable. He's super tough. You have to kill this guy to like finish him. He has lost a couple of fights before. Yeah, I believe he lost to that guy, that Brazilian guy, where he just kind of got struck for 3 rounds. But I feel like he's probably going to be the cleaner striker. He's probably going to land some big shots early in the first round. If you can't put him away, I think Santos is going to just kind of like walk him down and probably like get him in the clinch, get him a bit tired, and have success in the clinch, control him in the clinch, up against the fence, land a lot of knees to the body. And Santos, he's got some power too, man. He's got more experience, fought the better competition. So I'm going to go with the Daniel Santos to win this fight. I'm going to say he wins by decision. I don't know if I see him finishing Yu Seng Yu. I think he can probably just win by decision or like maybe a late finish, maybe like a 3rd round finish. Yeah, I'm going to go Santos just because we have more sample size for Santos in the UFC, and we know what he looks like against pretty good guys. Whereas you go out there, knock out Jika Sergey. I mean, that is good luck, but it doesn't really tell me all that much because Jika just kind of walked into that shot like he normally does. Doesn't have any IQ. I was going to say fight IQ, but I don't think Jika has even any normal IQ. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Santos, minus 135. I got him at plus 105, so I feel good about Santos here. He was minus 150. I think the minus 150 line makes sense for Santos. I think he's still the side, even a minus 135 for Santos. Next fight on the card, we got Chris Gutierrez taking on Farid Basharat, the Basharat brothers. Farid Basharat. I don't know why I'm singing. I don't know why I decided to sing that. But yeah, like this is gonna be an easy one I don't even need to do a long breakdown for this one. Gutierrez was at one point like a couple of fights away from maybe fighting for the top 5 ranking. He had a long win streak. Like he knocked out Frankie Edgar in Frankie's I believe that might have been Frankie's retirement fight. He knocked him out with a knee up the middle, which was really nice. He finished Michael Morales with those low kicks, and that's what Gutierrez is really good at. He's known for those low kicks and decent kickboxing. Like if you just kind of let him stay on the outside, you don't pressure him, you give him that space, he's just gonna pepper you with low kicks and break your base and just kind of like make it hard for you to like move, and you're not gonna be able to like shoot takedowns if you just let him stay at range or in the early round. Then like you're gonna have a hard time closing distance, and he's just gonna spam those low kicks. That's all he does. That's all Gutierrez is good at, because boxing isn't good. His boxing is okay. I mean, it's not really like the best boxing. Like he's not one of the better boxers in the UFC. Mostly just a kicker, and his kicks are really good. Like Jonathan Martinez, Chris Gutierrez, all these guys have really good low kicks. I remember Jose Aldo was known for low kicks, but then he just stopped throwing low kicks. I don't know what happened to Jose Aldo. He completely just gave up on low kicks, because Jose Aldo was like true pioneer with the leg kicking game back in the day, back in WC days. I mean, yeah, the Farid's gonna win this fight. I'm not like, come on, you guys know I'm picking Farid. I've been saying even before Javid, his brother, was taking L's, that Farid is definitely the better brother. And he puts it all together a lot better. Like he went out there, the way he beat Taylor Lapis, I think, is the way he's gonna beat Chris Gutierrez. He was striking with Taylor Lapis. He's gonna strike with Gutierrez early. Then he's gonna time those takedowns, because he's got really good timing on takedowns. Then he's gonna control Gutierrez. Maybe find a submission. Submission is definitely live, because if he grapples, he's got good jiu-jitsu. But Gutierrez is pretty tough. He can probably just survive down there if he's taken on. And I think Farid's just going to control him. And even if this fight stays on the feed, Probably would be a hard matchup for Freed a bit if it's only striking only, doesn't wrestle. But I still think Freed can win the striking stand-up fight against Gutierrez. But I think he's going to wrestle. I mean, Quang Lee took this guy down, bro. Quang Lee took down Chris Gutierrez. I mean, if Quang Lee can take down Chris Gutierrez, like, I'm going to pick everyone that can wrestle a bit. And Freed is definitely one of the better wrestlers who's not in the top 15 at bantamweight. Yeah, give me Freed Basharat, lock of the century. He's minus 400. I mean, I think you should be like more than that, honestly. Minus 600, I think that makes sense. I can't believe I'm saying that for a guy that doesn't really finish a lot of people, but he just has the best style to beat a guy like Gutierrez here. I think the minus 600, like, he's still probably a good parlay piece, even at minus 400. Next fight on the card, we got Emmett Shahbazyan taking on Andre Muniz. Now, Muniz, another BJJ nerd. He has good wrestling, though. I mean, I'll give him that. He's got decent wrestling. Like, he's not a complete nerd. He's not like Claudio Puelles. But Claudio Puelles recently against Joaquim Silva, he was getting takedowns early. I mean, his wrestling is getting a little bit better, so I can't shit on Claudio Puelles too much. But he still found a way to lose that fight. I almost got knocked out in that fight in the final round. But yeah, that's like kind of like what Muniz does. He's definitely dangerous if you can get your back and like and you go into his guard, like he can probably wrap up an armbar or like a triangle off his back. Like he's definitely slick with his jiu-jitsu game. But I'm really hoping Shahbazyan has learned, and yeah, I feel like he has learned because recently, like in some of his fights, even that Gerald Mearshart fight where he got a sub, he was like, he probably had like, if that's Muniz, man, I don't think Muniz is surviving that ground and pound from Shahbazyan. Shahbazyan is going to be the far better striker, much faster, with knockout power, and his takedown defense is definitely better than we give him credit for. And I think he should win, man. He's only lost to like some really good guys, Nasruddin Imavov. He lost to Derek Brunson. Brunson was like the GOAT back then. Completely destroyed Shahbazyan with the wrestling. I believe he lost to Gerald Mearshart. He was winning that fight. I mean, he had Gerald Mearshart on death's door. And then the referee, I think it was Mark Smith, just didn't want to stop that fight. And Shahbazyan just kind of gassed out trying to finish him. But if that's the case, man, if he's trying to finish Muniz, I don't think Muniz is surviving that ground and pound. And I think Shahbazyan can just kind of do what Ikram did to Muniz in the first round. Muniz is super fucking chinny, man. He doesn't move his head. And when he can't get his grappling going, he just kind of like his game completely just falls apart. Yeah, give me Shahbazyan. I'm gonna say like Shahbazyan round 1 KO. Minus 265 for Shahbazyan. I think he's definitely gonna like. There's a world where like he completely fucking messes up and like makes a mistake. Like he goes into his guard, like gets caught with something crazy off Muniz's back. But yeah, I think I'm gonna pick Shahbazyan KO. I think fight doesn't go the distance. It's also really good here. Good parlay piece. Under 2.5 rounds. Could also go under 1.5 rounds. I'm going to go Shahbazyan to win. Next fight on the card, we got Gautier taking on Ozzy Diaz, man. Now, you don't even need a long breakdown for this one, man. Like, I'm not going to spend too much time on this fight. Ozzy Diaz, like, okay, let's give him some credit. Ozzy Diaz is he a complete jobber? He kind of is a complete jobber, like, but he's not like a complete bum. Like, he's not a level 3 bum. He's probably like a level 1 bum, maybe. But he's okay, man. He's got decent boxing. Like, he's got some power on the feet, but like doesn't really knock anyone out. I mean, when he's fighting like good competition. And this is just the brutal matchmaking for him by the UFC matchmakers. They're trying to give Gautier another highlight win. They're trying to build this guy in Gone 2.0. And they're doing a pretty good job right now, giving him these layups, building him up slowly, taking their time with him. He's going to go out there, destroy him in the first round. This fight ain't going to be competitive. He's minus 1,000. I think he should be like minus 5,000. That's what I think, honestly. Like, the only way he loses this fight follows the Diaz, like, if he breaks his hand trying to beat this guy into the Shadow Realm. Gautier round 1 KO. Don't overthink this one. The under round 1 KO is going to be like maybe minus 150 if you're lucky. Gautier minus 950. He opened up at minus 450. I think. I mean, I get all the people like betting him because he's definitely is a true lock on the card. Gautier round 1. I think it goes under 1.5. It probably goes on, like, definitely goes under 1.5 rounds. And I think it goes under half a round. I think the under half a round could be like a good play here. That should be plus money. I don't think the under 1.5 is going to be plus money. That's probably going to be like minus 250, minus 300 maybe. But under half a round is going to be like plus money at least. I think that's not bad. Next fight on the card, we got Magomedov taking on Joe Bodybags Pyfer, man. Joe Pyfer has a lot of power. I mean, we all know that. Joe Sodium Pyfer, Joe Salty Man Pyfer, whatever you want to call him. He's got a lot of power for middleweight. He hits extremely hard. He had Kelvin Gastelum dropping to his knees like he was praying like every single fucking couple minutes. Knocked him down like I don't know how many times now. I think he probably dropped him like 3 or 4 times. And Kelvin Gastelum has a chin on him, but the guy is extremely fucking tough, extremely durable, never been knocked out. And he just kept getting back up over and over, kept eating all those big bombs from Joe Bodybag Sodium Pyfer time after time. And Joe Pyfer he just kind of gassed out him, man. He completely fucking gassed out in the third round. Like, he made Kelvin Gastelum look like Topuria in the third round, bro. Like, Kelvin Gastelum was hurting him in the third round. He was like gaining momentum. If that fight was 5 rounds, man, I think Kelvin Gastelum would have definitely won that fight, 100%. I would put my life savings on Kelvin Gastelum if that fight was 5 rounds. In the third, I would live bet Kelvin Gastelum in the third round, 100%. Because Joe Pyfer, in the first round, he's an absolute marauder. He's an absolute killer. Brings so much power early, but as the fight goes on, man, things just fall apart for Joe Pyfer. Like that Hermansson fight, right? Hermansson fight, the UFC gave him a main win, his first UFC main win, and it was 5 rounds. He was looking good in the first round, was hurting Hermansson, but Hermansson just kind of like bit his He just kind of like, he knew that if he could extend the fight, that he could have success against Joe Pyfer. And we've seen Joe Pyfer lose the third round a lot now. So yeah, that's the problem for him. But this fight's only 3 rounds, right? So like both these guys like don't really have the best cardio. Magomedov, I think those cardio issues are kind of overblown, but like some of his fights, he looks so freaking tired. He looks so tired in some of his fights. So it's like, who I'm gonna pick, man? Because Abus is a plus 200 underdog, plus 180. So I do like Abus as underdog here. And I think his kickboxing is definitely better. Like, he throws high kicks, he throws spinning kicks to the body. Like, he has a lot of weapons. And Joe Pyfer, like, Abus, man, like, if they just didn't like give him hard matchups, he could be undefeated in the UFC right now. Like, they gave him a Strickland in his second fight after he destroyed Stoltzfus. The crazy thing is, so Stoltzfus knocked out Joe Pyfer. I know it was an injury. It's funny. I just like to say that though he knocked out Joe Pyfer because it was he took Joe Pyfer down, and like Pyfer like sprained his ankle or something like that, or not his ankle, his arm. I think it was, he messed his arm up on Contender Series. And obviously, like, Abus knocked out Stoltzfus within like 19 seconds with a front kick to the face, absolutely nasty front kick to the face KO, put him out cold. With the follow-up shot, I mean, it was front kick rocked him, then he landed that right hand, put him out cold. That was nasty. And then obviously Strickland fight, I mean, no shame losing Strickland, but he was looking like a champion in the first round. He looked tremendous. He was going out there, out kickboxing Strickland, taking him down, took his back in the first round. So I do like Abus's game overall. Like, is he going to get takedowns on Joe Pyfer easily? Probably not. Joe Pyfer is a big dude. Same size as Abus Magomedov. And he's not going to be as easy to take down like Bruno Ferreira. Like, Bruno Ferreira is like kind of only like 5'11" or like 5'10", stocky as hell. But Abus was taking him down. I mean, to be fair, he did have a lot of success. I mean, Bruno Ferreira has nasty jiu-jitsu, probably better jiu-jitsu game than Joe Pyfer. I'm going to go Abus Magomedov. I'm going to go Abus Magomedov by decision. I think he can, if he can win one of the early rounds in the first round, he's probably going to win the third round at a high clip. But obviously, there's a role where Joe Pyfer could be knocked out, right? There's definitely a role where he could be knocked out. But yeah, I'm going to go with Abus to win by decision. And I like him at this price. Plus 180 for Abus. I think the price is pretty like it's good value to underdog on the card. Next fight on the card, we got Josh Emmett taking on Yusuf Zalal, man. This should be a good matchup, man. I think this fight's only going to go like 1 or 2 ways. And Yusuf Zalal is going to have to follow the same game plan as other guys like Lauren Murphy, or like he's gonna have like the Yair Rodriguez game plan, stay on the outside, land a lot of kicks. Because Josh Emmett is mostly a boxer with insane KO power. The guy hits extremely hard, and he can make it early night for you if you're not careful out there. And you kind of rush in recklessly. You stare at the lights. You take pictures that you're just not really you don't have your hands up where they're supposed to be. Josh Emmett could like put you in the ground 10 feet under. But I feel like Yusuf Jalal, he's a smart fighter, man. Like he's gonna have a good game plan, and I think Yusuf Jalal is gonna win this fight. But the odds are definitely crazy. I mean, him coming in at -350 is insane, bro. Like, but he's gonna be the better grappler. Is he the best wrestler? Like, can you take down Josh Emmett? I'm not sure about that. But if they do grapple, Josh Emmett is the one initiating takedowns or grappling. I could see Yusuf Jalal like getting a sweep or like getting reversing him, taking his back or like something like that, you know. So I'm gonna go Yusuf Jalal to win by decision. I think he can just kind of do the same thing that Yair Rodriguez did, or like all these other guys like stay on the back foot, Lauren Murphy did. He's definitely not gonna hurt him as much as Topuria. I think Topuria was battering him with his boxing combinations. I don't think Yusuf Jalal has boxing like that, but his striking is good enough to just kind of like be on his bicycle and just kind of pepper him from the outside. Next fight on the card, we got Jiri Procházka taking on Khalil Rountree, man. This should be a good matchup. I'm definitely picking Jiri Procházka, but I can very well like understand why some people might be taking Khalil Rountree here. Because he is probably the more technical striker, and he's gonna look to go out there, do what he did to Jamal Hill. Because I remember like against Pereira, like I watched the interview, he's like, "Oh, I should have like just like took my time with Pereira. Like I was doing really well. He was up there. I believe he was up 3 rounds against Pereira, and he was like he was doing pretty well, like being pretty aggressive, trying to like knock out Alex Pereira." It just didn't really work out for him. Like the fight didn't go like that. So I feel like in this fight, in that Hill fight, like after he beat Hill, he said he's like, hey, this was my game plan. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna like stay on the outside, be smart, and fight with good fight IQ. But is Procházka gonna let him do that? Like that's the question, man. Because Procházka, like he's never got like Procházka. The last time when Procházka went the distance was back in 2016. Over 10 years, bro. That's crazy. Like, I mean, I guess that is 10 years, but still, that's insane. Like, this guy has not seen the judges' scorecard in over 10 years. That's crazy, bro. He's definitely like that's why we love Jiri Procházka, because he goes to war every single time, bro. Like, even when you think the fight's about to go the distance, he just finishes his opponent, or he gets finished trying. So yeah, this might be a kind of a biased pick for me, because I do like Procházka, but I honestly think he's going to win this fight. I think he's going to knock out Rountree like in the second, third round. I think first round, Rountree's going to stay at range, trying to like play smart. And could Rountree knock him out? Yeah, there's a chance. I mean, Procházka, even though his head movement has gotten better in that Hill fight, like he's moving his head more side to side, like really, he was really fluid out there. And but yeah, I think Procházka has more power than Rountree when it comes to the boxing. And he's got more weapons. I mean, spinning back fists, like spinning back elbows, like he knocked out Reyes with. Insane. I think he's going to pressure Rountree. And Rountree's going to throw everything that he can throw. And if he can't put away Procházka is going to get him eventually. I think maybe late second, third round. So that's the way I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go Procházka like by like a third round KO TKO. Maybe like a second, third round KO TKO. I think he'll get him and he'll break Rountree. We've seen Rountree break multiple times before when he can't have things his way. He's been finished a bunch, so I think fight doesn't go the distance is good. But if you want to play something like Rountree by decision, might be like a good long shot, because he might just go out there like just play smart, man. He's gonna have to like be on his bicycle for 50 minutes because Procházka's gonna be walking him down and pressuring him. Procházka right now -175. Though they opened the line at -110. I mean, they do that for a good reason, because they know Procházka's a wild case. Fight goes the distance +230. If you think Rountree's gonna win, I think it probably goes the distance, but I think Procházka's gonna get him by KO TKO. Probably like, I think over 1.5 rounds isn't too bad. Over 1.5 rounds, -120. It could go over 1.5 rounds, maybe. Definitely like a fight you're going to be sweating for 7 minutes if you play it over. But yeah, I think it could go over 1.5 rounds. Next fight on the card, man. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you guys are enjoying this breakdown. I did a lot of tape study for this card, so I'd appreciate if you guys smash the like button on the video and also subscribe. We're really close to hitting our goal, 3,500 subscribers. So I'm really hoping me getting this breakdown early to you guys will make you guys want to subscribe, because I know some of you guys don't like subscribing to the channels on YouTube, but I'd appreciate if you guys do that. Let's break down this fight now, man. Merab, he's on his way to become, I mean, he's already there. I think he's already there, but in some people's opinion, he's not there yet. He's not the best bantamweight right now. I think some people are like, oh, Dominic Cruz is the best bantamweight ever, like in UFC history, like, but come on, it's got to be Merab, man. Merab, like, his resume right now is crazy. Like, his resume, like, let's just take a look at his resume, bro. His resume right now is just like, who has a better resume than Merab right now? I don't think anyone has a better resume than Merab right now. Look at the guys that he's beating, bro. Like, he's beating, like, Sean O'Malley, right? Former champion. Henry Cejudo, Olympic champion, triple champion, double weight class champion in UFC. Umar Nurmagomedov, I think it was like 17-0 or 18-0 at the time. Habib's cousin. Jose Aldo, former champion, former UFC featherweight champion. Like, his resume is just crazy. Peter Yan, former bantamweight champion. One of the most skilled fighters in UFC, one of the most technical strikers, one of the most best like technical fighters in UFC, one of the most technical strikers. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. One of the best boxers in the UFC, one of the most skilled fighters. I mean, I keep saying one of the most. This is probably annoying to listen to, but you guys get what I'm trying to say, bro. He's got 3 title defenses. I mean, he's fighting. This is gonna be his 3rd fight this year, bro. 3rd fight in 2025 for Merab, the Machine. The guy is an absolute, like, you got to kill him to beat him, bro. I mean, he's not willing to lose out early. You're going to have to, like, kill this guy. You're going to have to, like, knock him out cold. And that's the only way you can beat this guy, Merab. Because he's got a big head on him, and you can't really, like, I mean, people have heard him before. Like, I remember Marlon Moraes had him on death's door, and he just couldn't, like, completely, like, kill him. Like, he was really trying to, like, put him in the ground. Knock him out. Like, he had him hurt so bad, bro. Moraes hits harder than Corey Sandhagen. Like, Corey's a technical striker, and he has a lot of weapons. He's got low kicks, a lot of low kicks, a lot of like nice elbows up close. Like, you can probably cut open Merab to also leave their striking. Like, Corey brings a lot of good techniques to the fight. He's got good cardio. He's gonna be there for 15 minutes, like 25 minutes. I mean, and he gives almost everyone a pretty tough fight. Really technical. Like, is he the better technical striker than Merab? Maybe in the kickboxing when it comes to like a lot of kicks, because he can throw a lot of knees up the middle, a lot of low kicks, and he's shown that he can wrestle too. Now, I mean, he hasn't really been wrestling like the best wrestlers, like, but his takedown defense has been getting better recently in the UFC. So, I mean, even the Umar fight, I know he got beat up by Umar, but like, Umar couldn't hold him down for more than 5 minutes in the 25-minute fight. Umar had to like just kind of beat him up in the striking. So yeah, this fight is definitely tricky. Like, the odds are favoring Merab, like -350, -400. Like, should it be -400? I mean, he's been going out there competing really well. So I guess I can't even like disagree with the odds makers too much, because like, Corey can definitely make this fight close, but I think Merab's gonna wrestle. He's gonna wrestle a lot. We know we can rely on Merab to wrestle. He's got crazy cardio. He can shoot takedowns over and over. He shot 49 takedowns in that Yan fight. 49 takedowns in the Yan fight, and he didn't really control Yan all that much, and he just kind of won that fight based on just the forward pressure, and Yan just couldn't get his game going. And that's what happens to a lot of Merab's opponents. They just can't deal with the pressure, and they just can't get their game going. So that could happen here, but I think this fight's probably a dog or pass. So, like, if you want to bet this fight, like, Corey Sandhagen, like, these odds is kind of crazy to me. Let's see what the, I think it's like -350 or something like that. Corey Sandhagen +285. Yeah, Merab's -350. But the more I think about it, I think Merab's gonna beat a guy like Sandhagen. I really do, man. I was thinking about like why I should pick maybe Sandhagen as a big dog here. But the more I think about it, like, I'm just not sure he's gonna knock out a Merab. And in a 25-minute fight, Maybe if it was only 3 rounds, I'd probably give Corey more of a chance. But in 25-minute fight, man, it's definitely going to be tough. Next fight on the card, we got Magomedov Ankalaev versus ALEXPEREIRA in a rematch. Instant rematch. They're giving ALEXPEREIRA the instant rematch, as this should, right? As this should. The guy was one of the most active champions. Defended his belt 3 times within the span of a year. Took fights on short notice. Saved UFC 300. I believe, yeah, it was UFC 300, I believe, or like let me just pull this up just to refresh my memory. So yeah, he saved. I think it was it UFC 300 or like it was another card. He fought a lot, bro. Like ALEXPEREIRA was not just sitting as a champion on the couch. Yeah, he fought at UFC 300 against Hill when he knocked out Hill in the first round. Hill was coming back after a bit Achilles injury, I believe. But yeah, he knocked out Procházka on UFC 295, knocked out Hill, knocked out Procházka again at UFC 303, then fought Rountree at UFC 307. That should have been Ankalaev. I mean, he should have fought Ankalaev back at UFC 307, but I don't know why that fight didn't happen back then. Magomedov Ankalaev said, "Oh, he was ducking him and whatever." Like, they just couldn't come to an agreement to fight UFC 307. But then they finally ended up fighting UFC 313, and Magomed went out there. Like, I think a lot of people like don't really realize this, but Magomedov Ankalaev like didn't really need the takedowns to beat him. He beat him mostly in the striking. Like, he beat him mostly in the stand up. He had a lot of success. And when it came to the striking, and yeah, I think Magomedov Ankalaev is like definitely like one of the most, like, people really don't give him that much credit as a striker, but like he's a clean striker, really good for pressure. He has a lot of weapons. He can wrestle. His wrestling really isn't like that dominant because he doesn't really wrestle all that much. He looks wrestle, but like he's not really a typical like wrestler like Khabib Nurmagomedov or like Islam Makhachev. I think Magomedov Ankalaev I believe he's only like 33 or 32 years old. Like, he's still like in his prime. He's only like 33 years old. He's like, this guy could be 23 and 0. Like, Magomedov Ankalaev could be 33 and I know I might look like I'm glazing Magomedov Ankalaev right now. I have been doing this for a while, man. I've been glazing Ankalaev as we all should. The guy is a complete fighter, one of the best fighters we've seen at light heavyweight. And I think he could be like, I honestly would pick Magomedov Ankalaev to beat John Jones in their prime. I really would. I really would. I mean, John Jones could take all the steroids that he wants. I think Ankalaev would beat John Jones. Probably not easily, but I think he could defeat John Jones by decision probably. Now, ALEXPEREIRA is pushing 30 years old. The guy is one of the best kickboxers we ever seen. Former double champion in Glory. Former double champion in the UFC, middleweight champion, knocked out Israel Adesanya for that belt. Knocked out Israel Adesanya in kickboxing Glory. So yeah, ALEXPEREIRA is definitely one of the most dangerous strikers we've ever seen in the UFC, in MMA. And his takedown defense has been getting better, bro. Like, he defended all takedowns against Magomedov Ankalaev, but he just struggled. He was struggling to like get off the fence at times. And what it came down to was he had a lot of success landing low kicks against Magomedov Ankalaev, but it was the boxing of Ankalaev that gave him a lot of problems. Ankalaev was catching with counters, moving his head pretty well. And I think that's the way this fight is going to go. I think Ankalaev is going to be even more confident this time that he can go out there, defeat Pereira in the striking. Like, he's not really mismatched anywhere in this fight. Obviously, Pereira could knock him out if he catches him with that left hook clean. It could be early night for Magomedov Ankalaev, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Ankalaev. We bet him at first time at plus money, and now it's minus 200. I mean, we're not really getting the best line here, but I think Ankalaev at 33 years old, like, he's gonna. I don't know if I see him losing to Pereira at this point. Maybe Pereira was like 35, 36, like probably like then, but he's been away from the game for a while now. Like, he looks like he's training hard now. I watched the YouTube channel, so. He looks like he's definitely taking this fight serious, and he takes almost every single fight serious. But I'm taking Ankalaev. Does he finish him? I'm not too sure, but I do think Ankalaev can go out there, kind of do the same what he did in the first fight. Pressure him. Don't let Pereira stay on the outside. Just low kick him and dictate the pace of the fight, and don't let him get off on the left hook. I think Ankalaev did a really good job parrying that left hook. and moving his head pretty well and not giving Pereira too much space. Give me Ankalaev to win. I think he's going to do more of the same. Ankalaev minus 210. I'm picking Magomedov Ankalaev to win. Definitely like the betting odds. I mean, he's minus 200 this time. He was +1 plus money last time. But the bookies actually opened him up as a favorite last time too. But I think the public were betting Pereira. It was definitely a close fight. I mean, I'm not gonna like sit here and I'll say, oh, Magomedov Ankalaev completely destroyed him. He did hurt him in the second round. I didn't really almost finish him. I mean, he just kind of clipped him. But yeah, I think Ankalaev can do more of the same. So there you guys go, man. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about the breakdown. I wanted to get this breakdown out to you guys earlier because we have UFC Perth coming up this Saturday. We got Paul Hughes versus Usman Magomedov coming up next week. So I'm gonna be busy covering that also. So I appreciate if you guys all like and subscribe. Let me know if you guys enjoy the breakdown or not. This is definitely one of my longest breakdowns I've done. It's over an hour. So yeah, let me know if you guys want long breakdowns like this again, and I'll definitely do long breakdowns in the future. Yeah, let me know what you guys prefer, and make sure you guys like and subscribe on your way out. I'll see you guys next one.